And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ninth episode of Blockchain Talk. This time without really a title. By reason, well, I'm mainly going to talk about and discuss the market a little bit, seeing what it's doing, rehearsing a little bit the opinions from last week. So last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, I did the episode, see how things turned out, how precise I was with my predictions, and going naturally further predict what price movements will be for the forthcoming months. So yeah, let's begin. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. There we go. So as I said in the previous episode, well, there was a little bit of bearish momentum going on. Market was going down. I zoomed out a little bit here, but you can see in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin hasn't been performing well. Decent sell-off there. And if we look at the total sentiment of the market, we are underneath the 30K, 30,000 USD dollars. You can see entire market is bleeding red. Good sign, a good sign, despite what people might believe. The reason why I say this is a good sign, well, with that I want to imply that Bitcoin is on sale, that most coins are on sale. And other streamers, other analysts and traders like myself will agree with me here that Bitcoin underneath 30,000 US dollars, Ethereum underneath 2,000 USD dollars really are a steal. It's, well, accumulation time for the hodlers and the traders. So that's a very good sign. However, I wouldn't be doing this live stream if I wouldn't give you the reasons why, because, well, the most important thing to know about price movements is what is pushing it. Why is it going down? Why is it going up? As soon as you know the reasons why, you can more easily predict, well, its future movements. And I already showed you guys the article here. And this is one of the reasons that I, well, mentioned last week. Mainly Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust and its unlock on past July 18th. The article here is from July 7th. They say, is it the trouble for BTC, for Bitcoin? So on July 18th, there will be approximately 16,240 Bitcoin being released. Is it going to be bearish or bullish, etc., etc.? So I'm going to skip a little bit about it in my previous live stream. I'm going to highlight something here that I want to discuss a little bit in a moment. So with that, I want to highlight something which I mentioned a few times in the previous episode of Blockchain Talk, and that's, well, the main reason why this will become a bearish market and why it is a bearish market has to do, well, with the unlock. There is, well, price on the crypto market is entirely reliant on supply and demand. And now demand, I'm going to say, has remained more or less stable in the last couple of weeks. You can easily see it here on chart, especially if I start to zoom out. Because in all of my other previous episodes, I mentioned, especially in the last 9 weeks, I'm going to zoom out to 90 days, that we've been in the trading range between 40K and 30K. And especially if you zoom out, well, the market is still going sideways. So it is still holding up, but the reason it is going sideways implies also that demand is relatively stable. There aren't many, I wanted to say spot traders, but that's not the correct wording there. Not much new risk takers, not much new investors. It's really the market stabilizing itself and playing with between the hodlers, so the holders of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and, well, most trade funds. Now, what is spurring in, I dare say, the last since June 28th, that's about 2-3 weeks. Why it's become either stagnant and on the down run? Well, like I said, there was a little bit of FUD going on, still with China, which has a major influence naturally. But like I said, it was with the grayscale unlock. Why with the grayscale unlock? Well, in total, 40,000 Bitcoin will be unleashed on the market. That implies that the supply available has been heightened. And, well, if you can do simple math, normal demand, increased supply, well, there's an imbalance, and it will try to gradually come to a new equilibrium. But it will take some time, and as a result, well, it's what we're seeing on the short term here, last 7 days or even last 14 days, that the trend is at average going down, even though the unlock was here on July 18th, but you can easily see more or less where it occurred and when it hit the actual markets. So that's actually the main reason why things have become a little bit bearish, as I may say. I'm going to close this. Oh no, I wanted to address this one. So in the article itself, they say, I would say that this gets sort of headwind out of the way. It's bullish and perhaps come August or September. That's correct. That's one of my observations I'm also holding on to. I'm going to mention other analysts, I'm going to say, who more or less have the same idea as I do. Anyway, so newly unlocked shares would look like they want to dump their shares in large number with GTUC at a discount. After all, the FUD is still above 30k, which is in fact very bullish. Even now, I dare say we are still bullish. It's only that demand has remained stable, but the supply is increasing. So this implies that value is going down, and people might say, yeah, but it's a bearish market, value is going down, so that's bad. No, it's opportunity to buy. Some traders like myself have various levels depending on how the market reacts to buy in additional cryptocurrency. For example, for me, it's going to be accumulation time. Have I bought in today? Not yet. I'm going to wait a little while, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to close this one first. I'm going to refer to an episode, look at it in total. I'm going to enlarge screen here. No, I'm going to slow down a little bit. There we go. It's from today's episode from Cultivate Crypto, from Crypto Charlie, or Regulators Manipulating Crypto. And he actually drawn a little two predictions, two things. He's seeing what will be going on. Currently, we are here. It is July. Yeah, I've got to put the screen bigger here. July, so red dot here. And he predicts the market. That's where I'm still in agreement with him. Slight uptick, downtick, slightly will need the 28,000. That's my first level I want to buy in again, so I'm waiting until that one occurs. Shouldn't be taking too long. I believe in the next week, 2 weeks that it will occur. That would be optimal for me to buy in the hopes we are both not wrong before regaining a little bit of momentum, because this is an actual point of resistance, I dare say. It's a new round number. It's bullish and then might crash again towards a previous level of, well, support. Now, depending on what occurs, there are two scenarios. It may crash down further until levels at 24k. 24k, yeah, myself, I'm more inclined to say somewhere around 25k. That would be the next time that I will be buying, somewhere here, before actually taking off once again. Or this might also occur, that we gain momentum after we hit, and that's the most positive scenario I can imagine, somewhere here at 28k level, gain some momentum, a little bit of volatility, and we head back up. What's the reason here? Well, in August, September, there will be an update to the Bitcoin blockchain, mainly titled Taproot. I'm not going to get too much into detail here. However, Taproot will be an even more positive signal than the, for example, Lightning Network, which occurred a few years ago. Lightning Network, most know that's for speeding up the transaction speeds on the Bitcoin blockchain. Taproot, in a condensed sense, I dare say, has more to do with scalability of the project in order to build more things. And, well, there's an entire explanation. I'm not going to get all too deep into it. That's more for something like a crypto bull or an entirely other dedicated episode. Anyway, so yeah, those are the two scenarios which will play out. So where it concerns trading, I dare say, and I'm here in agreement with Crypto Charlie and well, his friend with whom he presents, of which the name escapes me at the moment. I'm a regular viewer, but I don't say all too much. I'm going to wait 1 or 2 weeks to see when this bottom is in to buy at the cheapest price, naturally, in case it goes this scenario, or I'll be waiting more over up until somewhere very late of August, somewhere September, as by then I know it will be probably taking off due to the update on the crypto, on the Bitcoin blockchain. So those are my predictions. For the guys watching, I highly suggest viewing this video. What Crypto Charlie is saying here aligns a little bit with my suspicions that I'm having here, where it concerns the crypto market. And he also does, well, a little bit like I do in his Cultivate Crypto live stream. I talk a little bit about media and, well, possible movements of the cryptocurrency market. Especially today's episode he has done here. Well, it's actually a very good one, and it's something I will be touching upon right now. So, let us continue. What other factors are driving the cryptocurrency markets at this moment? Well, naturally, there is some FUD, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt going on. Naturally, people thought that the adoption of El Salvador and its adoption of Bitcoin as a legal tender was actually a very bullish movement. Myself, I'm not entirely of that opinion. Naturally, I applaud their move to adopt Bitcoin. However, you can suggest, well, as can be suggested from the title, there are a few catches here. By reason, El Salvador rushed a little bit too quickly into the crypto markets. With that, I want to say, well, naturally, support will be lacking from the EMF, so the International Monetary Funds, as well as other countries will be, well, in themselves are trying to regulate everything where it concerns Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But due to the quick adoption, they are also halting a little bit, well, trades and, well, economic movements with El Salvador. By reason, well, they adopted, whereas others were more, what's the proper word again? I wanted to say insecure, but wanted to play it more safe, wanted to await what the markets are doing, etc. But yeah, this title basically is a little bit creation of FUD, so fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So yeah, they're talking about lending pools here, but mostly the problem is with the quick adoption of Bitcoin, and many nations are feeling a little bit, well, left out, not all too quick, and are now halting a little bit the development of, well, I dare say, Southern American countries at this moment, and saying, yeah, it's a bad move, etc., etc. However, I'm partially in agreement with those, well, with the EMF and some of those nations and countries which say the adoption wasn't a really good move and that they need to better watch out. Like I said, I stand positive on the idea that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin and that it implemented laws and made it legal tender. However, making it legal tender one-on-one wasn't a good move on their part. And well, this is now merely going to be my opinion I'm sharing here. But I voiced this opinion many times before on my Twitter, even on Instagram, even on private messages I've had with other people. I'm going to rehash it. The one-on-one adoption of Bitcoin as a legal tender isn't really a good move. Why? Well, first title here, which comes to mind. It is an untested assets category. More on this article later, but that's actually an important given. With untested assets category, you need to read between the lines, and they actually want to say, well, it is an asset category whereby no control can be exerted by a central government. And this is actually the main problem with what El Salvador did. They have no real control over their monetary policy when it concerns Bitcoin. It's all in the hands of the worldwide community. And if bankers and institutional investors are starting to short Bitcoin, well, naturally, many holders will be royally pissed off. But El Salvador themselves will also be majorly effed up. By reason, well, they can't implement, well, additional regulations. They can't really influence the value of Bitcoin by reason, well, they will be needing billions and billions and billions in order to, well, remain at a stable price. Myself, I'm of the opinion, I'm going to repeat it once again, one-on-one implementation of Bitcoin as legal tender was a bad move. I'm of the opinion establishing a Bitcoin standard might have been a smarter choice. And with a Bitcoin standard, well, you need to imagine something like the gold standard, that you have a reserve of gold which has fluctuating value, but depending on how much you want to value your money, your legal tender, you can either sell or buy additional gold in order that it becomes a stable coin. And this can exactly be done with Bitcoin. You can make a Bitcoin standard and base a stable coin off of it, whereby you say, okay, one stable coin that we have made, for example, equals 0.001 Bitcoin. It is, for example, worth 20 USD dollars or something in Bitcoin. At that point, you have a stable coin, well, which is more usable, and should something occur whereby additional stable coins must be made due to an economic recession or something like it, you can either, well, produce more of the stable coin, or you can back up your Bitcoin reserves and make them bigger so that the value is increased, that the purchasing power is being increased. So a Bitcoin standard is a better move. Now, this might sound controversial, but when it concerns nations and the use of legal tender, well, creating your own cryptocurrency, well, it is a must. I'm a big fan that should crypto become legal tender in any kind of nation, it should become a stable, well, they better create a stable coin, preferably backed by a new standard, an Ethereum standard or a Bitcoin standard. Doesn't matter which one, or even a gold standard, that's entirely possible. But that there is a certain degree of governance. By reason, well, the public sometimes does weird stuff, and we can actually see it when it concerns DeFi with all the, well, the plethora amount of shit coins and tokens that have been produced in the last couple of months, whereby millions and millions dollars of money, well, have simply vanished in pockets of other people in a variety of shit projects, and people, well, staying poor. So in order to prevent that some lawmakers start investing in a plethora of shit coins that litter the crypto market, which can risk to devalue your cryptocurrency, it's better to have a Bitcoin standard and your very own cryptocurrency, whereby you can still play and adjust if needed. So yeah, that's a little bit my opinion there. So yeah, this is a little bit of FUD creation also. There is an underlying red line here within the article, and that's, well, central governments and banks trying to manipulate, and that's also the title of the video that Crypto Charlie made today, that there are legal bodies trying to, well, manipulate a little bit of Bitcoin price. He also mentioned that the downtrend is more likely than the immediate uptrend later on this month, or nearing August 4th, when Taproot is being activated. So, yeah. Was there something else I wanted to share? Yeah, so yeah, EMF's leverage and lending pools. So what they're basically trying to do is regulate on a worldwide level the crypto markets, either by sanctioning and, well, declining help to El Salvador to develop its new network, its new legal policies where it concerns cryptocurrency, because they are one of the very first in the world. They say hands off because, well, it's against our own markets. So we're not doing this. But at the same time, we also know that EMF is busy, well, trying to implement cryptocurrency within their own restrictions. So it's a little bit of a double-sided sword. At this point in time, they are making use of fear, uncertainty, and doubt of the market to drive prices even lower, by reason that they can gain a bigger market share should their own digital currencies be launched. That's basically the red herring, which concerns all the FUD that is currently going on in the crypto market. Same applies here. Crypto is an untested assets category, says UBS CEO Rolf Tammers. Not going to get all too deep into detail within the article, but once again, it shows that the created fear, uncertainty, and doubt has more to do with legal regulations. Sorry, my kids are doing weird stuff over there. So yeah, trying to get a bigger market share and lowering the value of Bitcoin, by reason they want to step in early on, step in at a lower price cap, because, well, banks and governments know they have been too late. More than 5 years ago, they should have launched themselves into the crypto market, but they didn't, by reason that the market wasn't as developed as it is now. So now they're trying to manipulate it a little bit on a variety of fields. So that's what the FUD is all about, and, well, there's not much we can do except to make them pay. So now Bitcoin at this point in time, as you can see here, let's refresh this a little bit, a little uptick. As you can see, we are bearish cycle. Now in the last 24 hours, it seems to have been a little bit neutral here and wants to reclaim the 30K level. But as you can see, price has been pushed down, and I know there are a few institutional investors who want to jump in at lower levels, which they will probably get through shorting ETFs and a variety of other funds. So it's entirely possible. It's one of the reasons I'm awaiting slightly longer to see what the market will do the forthcoming 2 weeks to place my bet here. So yeah, it's also one of the reasons they say here, as an opinion, crypto is an untested asset category. They want to fire up a little bit the uncertainty and the doubt in the market, to have, well, a majority of institutional amateur investors, no, not institutional investors, but amateur investors like myself, well, off their trail, lower market, buying more cheap. That's basically what this title is about. But that's the good news, and that's probably the most important piece of news you guys should be retaining. And that's especially on-chain data suggests accumulation is brewing. By reason, well, on a variety of exchanges, there are large numbers of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency being withdrawn away from the exchanges, which implies there is a lot of cryptocurrency leaving the exchanges, that the supply is shrinking. Like I said, Grayscale unlocked about 40K of Bitcoin from its funds, with on July 18th about 16,480, approximately Bitcoin, It's all being bought up. Like I said early in this episode, there's now a higher supply with an equal demand, so it will need to start to equilibrate. So it's slowly being bought up by more and more people. There's an accumulation phase going on. And on-chain data on the Blockchain Explorer actually indicates more and more people are buying in slowly, naturally, but there's no further movement. So no big sales are going on, no big sell-offs, no big sell-off trades, etc. So yeah, people are accumulating, and that's exactly what you should be doing. I mentioned it earlier this morning in one of my tweets. This is the exact moment where you should be accumulating Bitcoin. So yeah, basically to wrap up the episode, I'm going to keep it short today. I'm going to close this one down, remove, there we go. So for today's episode, I wanted to say, well, do not be afraid because of the dropping price. It probably will go lower as a variety of traders are trying to short it a little bit. And there are, well, good reasons to, well, say that there are institutional investors trying to short everything and trying to get in more cheap. So what you guys should be doing is keeping a close eye on the market and, well, starting to buy when you see value further drops. By reason, the more people buy at a lower price, the more the supply shrinks, the more the demand increases, and you got a faster equilibrium. So now's the perfect time to start buying cryptocurrency. Prediction for the forthcoming weeks, well, trend as you saw it today will be continuing, so it will be going even lower. However, do not be surprised that we will be hanging on to, yeah, well, about the levels we are today. I do not see an immediate drop towards 25k. Might always be possible for a sudden mass sell-off, but I believe we are now at more or less stable levels. So yeah, with this, I want to wrap up my 9th episode of Blockchain Talks. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow's episode of Crypto Bull will be about Bakery Swap. I will do a technical analysis from that project, and yeah, we'll learn what it's all about. So thank you guys for watching, and up until next time. Bye.